day 81 of the chronological Bible in a year. Take a breath and take a moment to celebrate that you have set this time aside to hear God's word. Let's begin in Deuteronomy chapter 33. Now this is the blessing with which Moses and the man of God blessed the sons of Israel before his death. He said, "The Lord came from Sinai and dawned on them from Seir. He shone on them from Mount Paran, and he came from the midst of myriads of holy ones. At his right hand there was a flashing lightning for them. Indeed, he loves the people. All your holy ones are in your hand, and they followed in your steps. Everyone takes your words. Moses issued us the law, a possession for the assembly of Jacob. And he was king in Jeshurun when the heads of the people gathered, the tribes of Israel together. May Reuben live and not die, nor may his people be few." And this was regarding Judah. So he said, "Hear, Lord, the voice of Judah, and bring him to his people. With his hands he contended for them. And may you be a help against his adversaries." Of Levi he said, "Let your Thummim and your Urim belong to your godly man whom you tested at Massah, with whom you contended at the waters of Meribah, who said of his father and his mother, 'I did not consider them,' and he did not acknowledge his brothers, nor did he regard his own sons, for they kept your word and complied with your covenant. They will teach your ordinances to Jacob, and your law to Israel. They shall put incense before you and whole burnt offerings on your altar. Lord, bless his strength and accept the work of his hands. Smash the hips of those who rise up against him and those who hate him, so they do not rise again." Of Benjamin he said, "May the beloved of the Lord live in security beside him who shields him all the day long and lives between his shoulders." Of Joseph he said, "Blessed of the Lord be his land, with the choice things of heaven, with the dew, and from deep waters lying beneath, and with the choice yield of the sun, and the choice produce of the months, and with the best things of the ancient mountains, with the choice things of the everlasting hills, and with the choice things of the earth and its fullness, and the favor of him who dwelt in the bush. Let it come to the head of Joseph, and to the top of the head of the one who was prince among his brothers. As the firstborn of his ox, majesty is his, and his horns are the horns of the wild ox, and with them he will gore the peoples, all at once to the ends of the earth. And those are the 10,000s of Ephraim, and those are the thousands of Manasseh." Of Zebulun he said, "Rejoice, Zebulun, in your going out, and Issachar in your tents. They will call peoples to the mountain. There they will offer righteous sacrifices, for they will draw out the abundance of the seas and the hidden treasures of the sand." Of Gad he said, "Blessed is the one who enlarges Gad. He lies down as a lion, and tears the arm, also the crown of the head." Then he selected the choicest part for himself, for there the ruler's portion was reserved. And he came with the leaders of the people. He executed the justice of the Lord and his ordinances with Israel. Of Dan he said, "Dan is a lion's cub. He leaps out from Bashan." Of Naphtali he said, "Naphtali, satisfied with favor and full of the blessing of the Lord, take possession of the sea and the south." Of Asher he said, "More blessed than sons is Asher. May he be favored by his brothers, and may he dip his foot in olive oil. Your bars will be iron and bronze, and as your days, so will your strength be. There is no one like the God of Jeshurun, who rides the heavens to your help, and the clouds in his majesty. The eternal God is a hiding place, and underneath are the everlasting arms. And he drove out the enemy from you and said, Destroy. So Israel lives in security. The fountain of Jacob secluded in a land of grain and new wine. His heavens also drip down dew. Blessed are you, Israel. Who is like you, a people saved by the Lord, the shield of your help, and he who is the sword of your majesty? So your enemies will cringe before you, and you will trample on their high places. Now Moses went up from the plains of Moab to Mount Nebo, to the top of Pisgah, which is opposite Jericho. And the Lord showed him all the land, Gilead as far as Dan, and all Naphtali, and the land of Ephraim and Manasseh, and all the land of Judah as far as the western sea, and the Negev and the territory in the valley of Jericho, and the city of palm trees as far as Zoar. Then the Lord said to him, This is the land which I swore to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, saying, I will give it to your descendants. I have let you see it with your eyes, but you will not go over there. So Moses, the servant of the Lord, died there in the land of Moab, in accordance with the word of the Lord. And he buried him in the valley in the land of Moab, opposite Beth Peor, but no one knows his burial place to this day. Although Moses was 120 years old when he died, his eyesight was not dim, nor had his vigor left him. So the sons of Israel wept for Moses in the plains of Moab for 30 days. Then the days of weeping and mourning for Moses came to an end. Now Joshua, the son of Nun, was filled with the spirit of wisdom, because Moses had laid his hands on him. And the sons of Israel listened to him and did as the Lord had commanded Moses. Since that time, no prophet has risen in Israel like Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face. For all the signs and wonders which the Lord sent to him to perform in the land of Egypt against Pharaoh, all his servants, and all his land, and all for the mighty power and all the great terror which Moses performed in the sight of all Israel. Joshua chapter 1. Now it came about after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord, that the Lord spoke to Joshua, the son of Nun, Moses' servant, saying, Moses, my servant, is dead. So now arise, cross this Jordan, you and all this people, to the land which I am giving to them, to the sons of Israel. Every place on which the sole of your foot steps, I have given it to you, just as I spoke to Moses. From the wilderness and this Lebanon, even as far as the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, and as far as the great sea toward the setting of the sun will be your territory. No one will be able to oppose you in all the days of your life. Just as I have been with Moses, I will be with you. I will not desert you, nor abandon you. Be strong and courageous, for you shall give this people possession of the land which I swore to their fathers to give them. Only be strong and very courageous. Be careful to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded you. Do not turn from it to the right or to the left, so that you may achieve success wherever you go. This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will achieve success. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be terrified or dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Then Joshua commanded the officers of the people, saying, Pass through the midst of the camp and command the people, saying, Prepare provisions for yourselves, for within 3 days you are going to cross this Jordan, to go in to take possession of the land which the Lord your God is giving to you to possess it. But to the Reubenites, to the Gadites, and to the half tribe of Manasseh, Joshua said, Remember the word which Moses, the servant of the Lord, commanded you, saying, The Lord your God is giving you rest and will give you this land. Your wives, your little ones, and your livestock shall remain in the land which Moses gave you beyond the Jordan. But you shall cross ahead of your brothers in battle formation, all your valiant warriors, and shall help them until the Lord gives your brothers rest, as he is giving you. And they shall possess the land which the Lord your God is giving them. Then you may return to your own land and take possession of that which Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave you beyond the Jordan toward the sunrise. They answered Joshua, saying, All that you have commanded us we will do, and wherever you send us we will go. Just as we obeyed Moses in all things, so we will obey you. Only may the Lord your God be with you as he was with Moses. Anyone who rebels against your command and does not obey your words and all that you command him shall be put to death. Only be strong and courageous. Then Joshua the son of Nun sent 2 men as spies secretly from Shittim, saying, Go view the land, especially Jericho. So they went and entered the house of a prostitute whose name was Rahab, and rested there. But it was told to the king of Jericho, saying, Behold, men from the sons of Israel have come here tonight to spy out the land. And the king of Jericho sent word to Rahab, saying, Bring out the men who have come to you, who have entered your house, for they have come to spy out all the land. But the woman had taken the 2 men and hidden them, and she said, Yes, the men came to me, but I did not know where they were from. It came about, when it was time to shut the gate at dark, that the men went out. I do not know where the men went. Pursue them quickly, for you will overtake them. But she had brought them up to the roof and hidden them in the stalks of flax, which she had laid in order on the roof. So the men pursued them on the road to the Jordan, to the crossing places. And as soon as those who were pursuing them had gone out, they shut the gate. Now before the spies lay down, she came up to them on the roof and said to the men, I know that the Lord has given you the land, and that the terror of you has fallen on us, and that all the inhabitants of the land have despaired because of you. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea before you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to the 2 kings of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan, to Sihon and Og, whom you utterly destroyed. When we heard these reports, our hearts melted, and no courage remained in anyone any longer because of you. For the Lord your God, he is God in heaven above and on earth below. Now then, please swear to me by the Lord, since I have dealt kindly with you, that you also will deal kindly with my father's household, and give me a pledge of truth, and spare my father and my mother, and my brothers and my sisters, and all who belong to them, and save our lives from death. So the men said to her, Our life for yours, if you do not tell this business of ours. And it shall come about, when the Lord gives us the land, that we will deal kindly and faithfully with you. Then she let them down by a rope through the window, for her house was on the city wall, so that she was living on the wall. And she said to them, Go to the hill country, so that the pursuers will not encounter you, and hide yourself there for 3 days until the pursuers return. Then afterward you may go on your way. And the men said to her, We shall be exempt from this oath to which you have made us swear, unless, when we come back into the land, you tie this cord of scarlet thread in the window through which you let us down, and gather into your house your father, your mother, your brothers, and all your father's household. And it shall come about that anyone who goes out of the doors of your house outside will have his blood on his own head. and we will be innocent. But anyone who was with you in the house, his blood will be on our head if a hand is laid on him. But if you tell this business of ours, then we shall be exempt from the oath which you have made us swear." She then said, "According to your words, so be it." So she sent them away, and they departed, and she tied the scarlet cord in the window. So they departed and came to the hill country, and remained there for 3 days until the pursuers returned. Now the pursuers had searched for them all along the road, but had not found them. Then the 2 men returned and came down from the hill country, and they crossed over and came to Joshua the son of Nun. Then they reported to him all that had happened to them. And they said to Joshua, "The Lord has indeed handed over to us all the land. Furthermore, all the inhabitants of the land have despaired because of us." Thank you for listening. I pray that the seed of God's word will be planted in your heart and will continue to grow.